MacRobert Award is the most prestigious prize for British engineering and innovation. Now, in its 44th year, the prize rewards a world-class combination of commercial success and benefit to society. But crucially, the engineering project must have been developed in the UK. As Sir John said, engineering drives growth. So we're now going to look in a little bit more detail at our three finalists tonight.
Concrete canvas is a concrete impregnated geotextile. So it starts soft and flexible like a fabric, but when you hydrate, it hardens to form a fibre reinforced, durable, waterproof concrete layer.
Essentially, it's concrete on a roll. It enables you to put down a concrete surface roughly 10 times faster than any other method, with a much lower labour and logistical cost.
So you're replacing 150 mil with 5 or 8 mil. So straight off the bat you have 90 to 95% material savings. Primarily it's used for erosion control applications, ditch lining, slope protection and secondary containment lining.
So you have a fibrous top surface that allows the water to penetrate and hydrate the dry concrete mix. You've then got a PVC coated impermeable membrane on the rear surface. Linking those two, you have fibres running in the Z direction. Now that controls the internal volume. We then fill that internal volume with a carefully controlled particle size distribution to a very carefully controlled density. Spray it with water, 24 hours later, you've got a hard, durable concrete surface.
We're currently manufacturing anywhere between 9,000 and 14,000 square metres of concrete canvas a week to keep up with demand.
Every year since we started selling it, we've grown by more than 100% year on year. Concrete Canvas as a business is providing employment in the South Wales Valley area, an area that since the collapse of the coal industry has suffered from very high long-term unemployment.
The more jobs that we can create, there is a benefit to the community there.
We're also good for the environment. Concrete Canvas substitutes typically for 90 to 95% less concrete for the same effect and the same durability and lifespan. That means you're saving a lot of concrete, which means you're saving a lot of carbon dioxide in production, but also you're saving a lot of carbon dioxide in transport and installation as well. Concrete Canvas is good for UK PLC. Currently 85% of our turnover is coming from exports. Going forward over the next 5 years, we expect that number to increase substantially.
XMax is a spectrometer. It measures X-rays, and that's used to determine the composition of materials.
By looking and analysing these X-rays and measuring them quantitatively, you can tell how much as well as what type of material or atoms are present within that particular sample.
We can tell people what their materials are made from, down to about 10 nanometers in scale.
The XMax detector uses the largest area silicon drift detector on the market, and it collects more X-rays quicker than any other detector in the world.
The crux of our product is the hardware innovation. That was the real nitty-gritty, the very difficult engineering challenges that we faced.
It was designed to be compact, so we could get the maximum solid angle and come nearer the sample as possible.
Designing an instrument to fit onto a bench is one thing. Designing an instrument to fit onto hundreds of different microscopes is a different story. We had to review all the spaces available within a whole range of different microscopes, both internally and externally, and optimize the shape of the XMax to not compromise the geometry.
Since the product was launched, we'd exceeded our maximum expectation in terms of numbers within 2 years. We now sell something like 50% more than we ever expected to each year.
It's always easy to design one-offs, but to get them ready for production is the most difficult bit, I think.
The benefits to the community come up in all sorts of ways. Jet engines, where we're trying to make material alloys that are more efficient at high temperatures. Computer chips is a big area where the storage on hard disks has gone up and up and up, and the costs have come down and down and down. In the art world, analysing paintings, forensics, it's used for analysing gunshot residue. But it really shows for the community as better products, cheaper and more efficient.
Real VNC is a software company. We make software called VNC, which allows any computer to connect to the screen of any other computer.
We invented the RFB protocol, which is a language that computers use to essentially share screen information and share keyboard and mouse events.
It's the most ubiquitous, smallest footprint, most widely used in practice technology for remoting one desktop to another.
The intellectual property that we've used for the compression of data and the encoding for swift transmission across networks of any type, speed and reliability, as well as the security techniques that we're using, are all innovations.
It's 10 years of 30, 40, sometimes 50% growth every single year, which is as good as it gets.
Where the real commercial success lies is in our ability to license the product to third parties so they build it into their own products. Medical equipment manufacturers are building it into MRI scanners and X-ray machines.
Intel are using this, they've actually built it into the silicon on their chips. Google are building VNC into their Chrome browsers.
The automotive application is a very simple idea. Rather than using software that's built into the car, you use the software that you're familiar with from your smartphone.
There are many more examples of royalty-bearing license agreements that put us on a curve of exponential growth.
Being able to access a computer remotely and help fix problems ultimately might mean there's less travel.
We're actively reducing energy consumption globally.
Using VNC to provide remote expertise and help, either with computer problems or remote training and remote education, is a very valuable prospect.
I think we're making an important contribution to that proposition that computing will help with some of the planet's problems.
Well, what truly inspiring work that we as a whole nation can feel immensely proud of. I'd like to invite the Chancellor back onto the stage, if you would, because here with us tonight to receive their 2013 MacRobert Award finalist certificates from the Chancellor of the Exchequer are the teams from those three companies. And the first, as you've seen, is Concrete Canvas, shortlisted for its flexible cement-impregnated fabric. The mind boggles, but we've seen it in reality on the video. So please join us, team leader Peter Bruin, along with his team, William Crawford and Philip Greer. Congratulations to you all. So our second finalists of the night, Oxford Instruments, for the XMax large area detector, used, amongst other things, to find out the composition of meteorites. We'd like to invite their team leader, Santok Bader and team, Angus Buick, Simon Burgess, Sarah Jones, and Chris Tyrrell up onto the stage. Welcome and congratulations. Oxford Instruments, well done too. Takes us to our third finalist of the night, and that is Real VNC. As you've seen, that remote control software that takes you into computer screens. And joining us is their team leader, Dr. Andy Harter, and his team, Lily Bacon, Adam Byrne, Professor Ander Hopper, and Tristan Richardson, although Tristan unfortunately can't join us tonight, but the rest of the team is here, and well-deserved congratulations to all of you too. Congratulations, Real VNC. Tremendously well-deserved. And Chancellor, thank you very much indeed. In a moment, we're going to take a break for dinner, but before we do, let's just remind ourselves about the latest addition to the Academy family of awards, mentioned a moment earlier by Sir John. This is, of course, the Queen Elizabeth Prize for Engineering. The 5 winners were Dr. Bob Kahn, Vint Cerf, Louis Pouzin, Sir Tim Berners-Lee, and Mark Anderson for the creation of the internet and the web. Now, they received their award last month and took part in an amazing day of activities and events to celebrate. Have a look.
Literally everything around you that you rely on is created by engineers. They're the ones that make the world tick and make the world work.
There's absolutely nothing wrong in glamorizing engineering because it really is, right at the center of all the exciting stuff that happens in society.
Everybody uses the internet, be it on their phones or their computers, and to remind everyone that that's engineering, it's engineers that did it, I think is extremely important.
We are delighted to be here today on behalf of the Queen to celebrate the first winners of the Queen Elizabeth Prize for Engineering.
Very important prize. This is a great idea.
No, I think there is no other prize which is of this significance in the engineering.
Oh, I think this prize will easily surpass the Nobel Prize.
Let me now introduce 4 of our prize winners. Dr. Vinton Cerf, Dr. Robert Kahn, Mr. Louis Pouzin, Sir Tim Berners-Lee.
The Queen Elizabeth Prize for Engineering recognises those who have brought benefits across the globe.
A great honour to be one of the first recipients. Happy to share it with the others that were named as well.
It's the fact of being together, which has allowed us to produce the internet.
但于对于工程技术，这是第一个最有影响力的奖项。
Engineering is a business and a creative activity all of itself.
That's amazing. Well, I imagine that in the future, the prize will be given to people in all sorts of different versions of engineering, like engineering sort of at the nanoscale and engineering at the sort of space scale.
Just imagine speaking to Google, asking it for your mobile for directions by just asking, by simply saying, please get me from point A to point B. That would have been science fiction, and it was science fiction 10 or 20 years ago. It isn't anymore. That's engineering.